Will I be quarantined while visiting Jamaica? Get the answer to this very interesting question, plus more important answers. In today's video, I will be answering the top 10 frequently asked questions that viewers have been asking about traveling to Jamaica during COVID-19. Whether you're thinking about or planning to visit Jamaica, stick around. Chances are you may have some of these same questions, so you too will get some important answers right here in this video. So keep watching. Hello everyone, this is Karen from Trending Travel, back with another quality video. I will be spending some time answering some of your most burning Jamaica travel questions. This is not my first Jamaica question and answer video, but back then I didn't have as many subscribers. And while I'm at it, I just want to specially thank everyone who takes the time to watch and share my videos, plus like, leave comments, and most importantly, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. Many of those who have subscribed to the Trending Travel family know that my videos provide up-to-date travel information and that you can ask me basically anything that is travel related, and I will provide the best possible answer as soon as possible. So, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel to show your support and for more important travel updates.
Oh yeah.
Now, let's zoom in on the top 10 questions that viewers have been asking about traveling to Jamaica. Number 1. Who can apply and when can I apply for a travel authorization? All travelers to Jamaica, both residents and non-residents, including children, should apply for the travel authorization. Non-resident applications may be submitted anytime within the 5-day period before the intended travel date. So, for example, if you're traveling on November 6th, you can submit your application on or after November 1st. Jamaican residents, on the other hand, can apply at any time before the intended travel date. Be reminded that the application should be done online at visitjamaica.com. Now, in case you had missed it, for more important details about how to apply for the travel authorization and for the most recent update about traveling to Jamaica during COVID-19, please see my previous video by clicking the icon in the top right corner of this video. Number 2. I want to book my ticket, but what if I don't get approved for the authorization? Would I lose all my money? That's a good point, but it's quite unlikely that you wouldn't get approved for the authorization if you had submitted all the required information. The travel authorization approval process is now much faster, easier, and even more efficient than before. Persons who are required to do the COVID test are no longer required to upload the test results during the travel authorization application. Instead, these travelers are now required to present a printed or electronic copy of the test results during the airport check-in process. However, if for some reason your application was not approved, your ability to rebook or seek a refund will depend on the restrictions on your airline ticket and on the airline's refund and cancellation policy. Number 3. I live in the US. Where can I find a lab that does the PCR or antigen test? You may find a list of accredited CLIA registered labs by going online to visitjamaica.com. In order to find a lab near you, scroll down to the resources section. Next, click on Find a CLI registered lab near you. You will then be taken to the CDC website. For search criteria, click Show beside Advanced Search. Next, choose your state, and for certificate type, choose Accreditation. Then click Search. The search results should provide a list of registered labs based on the state that you selected. Number 4. If I'm a Jamaican traveling from a high-risk country, do I need to do the COVID test? As a Jamaican resident, you do not need to do the COVID test regardless of where you're traveling from. Number 5. I am traveling from the UK to Jamaica. Do I need to do a COVID test and get a travel approval? Presently, the UK is not one of the designated high-risk locations. The current list of high-risk areas includes the United States of America, Brazil, Dominican Republic, Mexico, and Panama. Therefore, if you are traveling from the UK or any other area that is not a high-risk location, you do not need to do a COVID test. However, all travelers are required to apply for a travel authorization. Number 6. As a dual citizen of the US and Jamaica, how do I apply and do I need a COVID test? If you are a dual citizen, you may choose to apply as a resident or as a non-resident. Ultimately, it will be your choice. Whether or not you need a COVID test will depend on how you chose to apply. Therefore, if you apply as a non-resident and you are traveling from one of the designated high-risk areas, you will also need to do a COVID test. On the other hand, if you apply as a resident, even if you are traveling from a high-risk area, you will not need to do the COVID test. Number 7. Will I be quarantined while visiting Jamaica? The quarantine protocols or movement restrictions are different depending on your traveler category. The Jamaican authorities have placed travelers into 4 categories. One category is for residents, while the other 3 categories are for non-residents. If you are a Jamaican resident, even if you have a negative test result, you will be required to do a 14-day quarantine. After completing your quarantine period, you will be able to move freely around the island without any restrictions. This quarantine rule will also be applicable to non-residents visiting Jamaica for other purposes, including tourists who are not staying within the resilient corridor. If you are a non-resident visiting Jamaica for tourism purposes and staying within the resilient corridor at an approved resort, you will not be quarantined. However, your movements will be restricted. What does this mean? This means that you will be required to remain at your hotel or resort within the corridor for the duration of your stay. Now, you are allowed to leave the hotel or resort property to visit any COVID-approved tourist attraction that is also located within the resilient corridor. Arrangements must also be made with a COVID-approved transportation to and from the attraction location. There's a full list of the COVID-approved attractions and transportation available at visitjamaica.com. Now, for non-residents visiting Jamaica for business purposes for less than 14 days, these persons will also be quarantined for the duration of their stay and will be able to conduct their business according to the rules for business travelers. Therefore, travelers to Jamaica should expect to be quarantined for 14 days or for the duration of their stay if it is less than 14 days, except for those travelers who will be staying at an approved resort within the resilient corridor, who should expect some level of movement restriction, but they will not be quarantined. Number 8. During the 14-day quarantine, will I be allowed to go to the grocery store? Under quarantine, your movements should be limited. Persons placed under quarantine by the health authorities will be allowed to leave their homes only once per day to go to the nearest location to get food, medical supplies, or medical services, and to conduct financial transactions. Number 9. Can I stay at multiple hotels within the resilient corridor? The answer is yes. Visitors are allowed to stay at multiple resorts or hotels within the resilient corridor. Number 10. If I'm staying at an Airbnb or other accommodation within the resilient corridor, will I still need to be quarantined for 14 days? Even if the place where you're staying is located within the resilient corridor, as long as it is not on the current list of COVID-approved accommodations, the 14-day quarantine rule would still be applicable. And now for the bonus question. If I want to stay at a location that is not COVID-approved for 3 days, then change my quarantine location after 3 days, will this be allowed? As mentioned previously, under quarantine your movements should be limited. However, based on the current protocols, changing your quarantine location is allowed. In order to do so, the health authorities would need to be advised so that special permission can be granted. So, these are all the questions that I will answer for today. But if there's anything else that you would like to know about traveling to Jamaica during COVID-19 or any other travel-related questions, remember, you can always leave a comment right below this video. I will read all your comments and do my best to answer any of your questions. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. If you find this new update helpful, like the video, let us know in the comments and subscribe to our channel for more important travel updates. If you decide to visit Jamaica, stay safe and have fun. Hopefully from this video, you will have a much clearer understanding of the latest Jamaica COVID-19 travel protocols, and ultimately, you will be able to make better travel plans. Remember, Jamaica or other destinations could make travel changes or close their borders at any time. Therefore, please accept full responsibility to seek up-to-date information about all possible risks before making any bookings or other arrangements. See you in our next video.